Hey everybody, it's Mark from the Crystal Chronicles, your Dissidia Final Fantasy Opera Omnia podcast. We come to you live on Twitch every Thursday night, 8 p.m. Central Standard Time. Also here on YouTube, live streaming every Thursday, 8 p.m. Central Standard Time. Take a moment, like, sub, ring the bell for notifications. This is my Kain LD pull video, one of my favorite characters in the Final Fantasy franchise. The original Dragoon. You can at me because I know you didn't play Final Fantasy II as a child. Tell me one thing Ricard ever did for you. Yeah, well, here in the Western world, Kain is the OG Dragoon, and definitely one of my favorite characters. Kain, Cecil, Rosa, Final Fantasy IV is one of my favorite Final Fantasies. So, really enjoyed what Nidre said last night on the Ranting Hour. I'm recording this a little bit later. Been episode 38 of the Ranting Hour on the 8th of December. And Nidre said, you got to think about these characters as new characters every time a weapon comes. That's the best way to do it. I agree with him. So if you like Kain, if Kain is a favorite, pull him now, play him. You're going to enjoy him. Because if he's not a favorite, you're going to skip now, you're going to skip later. Don't pretend that you're going to wait for his LD on his FR. You're not going to pull for his FR unless he's a favorite. Because there's better FRs coming out right around the corner. So, so we're going to go tickets because I have a few, and why not? Burn through all my tickets before I do anything else. And sorry, I had to restart the video there. But let's see how we go. Let me know how your polls went. I think Kain is a really cool character at this iteration of the game. I think you're going to be able to use him because it's garbage time whenever you want. So if you like Kain, if he's a favorite, and you like Dragoons, yeah, definitely pick him up right now. Get him. He's a lot of fun for a BT-less, green-less character. And yeah, just a lot of fun. So I have everything on the banner. Oh, what Barrett's LD is the other LD? Yeah, because Rachel doesn't have an LD. So I have Barrett's LD. Speaking of characters who are not good. Poor Barrett. Not even his C90 is good. But here we go. Let's see. Another gold orb. Let's see what we got. I think we're on 30 or 40, excuse me. See how we play out here. But yeah, let me know how you did. Let me know if you are skipping. Maybe Kain's not a favorite. And if he's not, I 100% agree. You probably have other damage dealers. Hey, 50 tickets, I'll take it. You probably have other damage dealers, so yeah, feel free to skip and save your resources for other characters you're more interested in. Maybe you have checked, maybe you have twins, maybe you're looking at Machina down the road. Range damage is good, so if you don't have anybody who does range damage, pick somebody up like that, because every once in a while that is helpful. So like in this event. But it's possible to do it without Kain at all. I'm going to go in to this event with, this is my first run. I'm going to post another run, I think, in the members only option on YouTube. We play with that. But this is my Hot Cookin' Mama run with three of my favorites here: Kain, Shadow, Ignis, and Kain Friends. So no BT, no BT plus. I believe no boss turns. We'll watch it out. So if you're not familiar with how Kain plays, Kain used to be basically a 2 and 3 button damage dealer. He had a jump attack, brave gain, damage, a single target lance throw attack, skill 1 and skill 2. Then he had his new EX attack, which launched. That was pretty much it. Very simple kit. Damage. And, each of them did a little bit different, but at the end of the day, damage is all you needed to know. Not really too complicated of a kit. There were times he was actually fairly good back in the early era. That was really good. And even his EX wasn't terrible, his EX Plus era. But it's never really shined. He's always kind of come at the end or beginning of eras. But his new mechanic is he gets this overhead buff, and when that reaches 4 stacks, he gets a special brave attack, which allows him to jump, which actually allows him to leave the field of play. and every action thereafter, whether it's a boss action or a player action that is not Kain's, I think he actually delays himself too a little bit when he does that. Let me see if I can. I think it's just maybe a slow action. Looking at the Tonberry Troupe, so tonberrytroupe.com for the infographic. Beautiful infographic. I love that. Is that Edward Zhang? Yeah, good art. I like that a lot. But anyway, he tends to kind of go a little bit later in the turn order. I don't know if it's just because it's a slow button, or I don't see anything that necessarily delays him a little bit. But anyway, he goes up in the air, and then as you see, every action you take. So, call ability, lance it. There it goes. You see that damage? He does not deplete his brave during that time. So you see his brave right now at almost 150,000. At this point, my Kain arts are horrendous, so that can be a lot higher. Then he does this, AOE brave split HP attack with some overflow on it. So he is doing some brave damage in the midst of that, and that's how it's doing, not quite 300,000 at this point. So Shadow has free turns, consecutive turns, right? So this makes Shadow and Kain really, really good friends, because Shadow can take a whole bunch of turns back to back. And so every time Kain presses his LD, which he has 3 uses of, he immediately gets 4 stacks of his ability there. So normally, if you don't use his LD, he gains 1 stack after his turn, which is fine. So if you're playing a little bit more conservative pace, you can LD, you can jump, then you can come back down, and then you take a few turns and then jump again. But I'm not sure, given the kind of fights that we have coming, you might just LD jump. you may not do a lot of other things with Kain. So depending on how you're building around him, because you really do want to build around him with characters who can really take a lot of consecutive turns, delete the enemies. Obviously, I know it's not Mino's preferred method of play, but even not, this would give you some options for off-turn damage, boss mitigation. There is actually some, if you want to change up how you play, the bosses can't actually damage or impact Kain when he's off the field, but they can still target him. And so if they're doing single target attacks, a lot of single target attacks, they can't, they'll just miss. It just counts as a miss. So it's like true evasion. So you can really mess around with that, or you can have, Kain up in the air while they're doing all attacks like this, and then have some, somebody like Shadow who can evade, or somebody like Edge who can evade. And you can play around with that in the damage mitigation route. So I actually think he has a lot of flexibility in how he plays, which makes him a really interesting character, in my opinion. He's really not a one-trick pony. I'm kind of doing the one trick right here, which is take consecutive turns. Of course, Shadow and Iggy both have free turns, consecutive turns. I think this is about a 20-turn run. You see I'm at 3 turns right now. And I was still kind of learning at this point. My plan here is to run out of Shadows things and then swap out for Kain. Yep. And friend Kain, I should have done AA first, but anyway, friend Kain, get up in the air, and then let Iggy do his work. Ignis, his cooking skill actually is a turn. So his regroup is free turn. His Brave Plus, where it gets him the stance, those are free turns. But the actual cooking skill is not. His EX may be a free turn as well. So you're going to see Iggy start cooking. The LD is not a free turn. But yeah, so he's got four uses of regroup. Now you can't battery when they're in the air. But again, they retain their Brave. So you see their Brave going up. Once I hit, again, I'm kind of learning the ropes here. Once I hit the EX, or excuse me, the summon phase, their brave will go up even more. Once if you have a burst effect, their brave will go up even more. So anytime you can get their brave and their overflow up, you will increase the total amount of damage they can do depending. So at least they will dump even if they're doing ones on their brave hits, at least they're not doing ones right now. The orb on this is range damage, so that's every lancet is range damage. Every lancet is range damage. So there's literally, if Kain is in your party, there's literally no issue. Iggy is not dumping any damage, so you can see that everything that I'm doing right now is basically just dumping the Kain's damage in the air. And again, this is kind of a gimmicky version of playing Kain. I actually have an even more gimmicky run than this, and that's the one I think I'm going to share in the members only thing, just as something fun. So watch Ignis cook. And shout out to Mino Spellgood, my co-host. This is his Kain. Both of us pulled Kain, as Kain is a favorite character of both of ours, and both of us have blue Kains. I should have put mine as a friend. I don't have mine as a friend right now. But I also don't have perfect arts on mine. Near perfect arts. I'm missing one attack, 108, 330. And I have three 330s and Brave Up passives as well. Just to mess around with the possible Embrave when he's synergy. But normally attack 108, 330 is going to be what you want, because he is doing damage and you need his attack. And you'll see that if you watch the other video. Yeah, you would see his attack drop because of that. The total damage he's doing. But yeah, I think he's a lot of fun. If you have experience with Kain, let me know what you think. Again, this is just a little way. The bosses are not going to get a turn here because I'm just going to be able to, take multiple consecutive turns. And it is best if I can keep the Kains in the air as long as possible. They retain that ridiculous brave. And now their brave's going to go up. So ideally, I should have summoned ASAP. So as soon as the summon gauge was available, I should have summoned and then been able to take as many turns as possible. And if I was playing this again, probably gone. No, I don't know. Yeah, probably done Ignis first and then brought in Shadow. So, but yeah, we'll see. I mean, I win this, so it's not a problem. But see, Kain fell, and that's really not what I want. I don't want the Kains to fall here because we're losing that brave. That brave potential is just not what it needs to be if they're not in the air. So, it's only going to get up to how much here? I don't think it's going to get up to what the second Kain is at the moment. We'll do something else, yeah. Watch that brave go up. Yeah, no. Yeah, that kind of sucks. Yeah, I should not have given the other Kain a turn. Because I'm, again, losing just damage potential. Again, it doesn't matter. But trying to maximize your turns and trying to maximize your play as much as possible. You want to just keep that brave as high as possible. Thankfully, Iggy is actually supporting. I don't think my Ignis is blue armor. It will be at some point. I just don't have the mats for all my favorites to be blue yet, which sucks, and I hate it. I hate it. I hate it so much. But I have a good chunk of my favorites. Probably about half of my 20 favorites are blue armor right now, so that's okay. I'll take it. And we're running out of cooking. Hey, if you stuck around this long, thanks for watching. Let me know who you used. If you're struggling with this fight because you don't have Kain, plenty of ways to deal with it. You can go to DissidiaFFOO.com. I don't think Macnol's had the boss guide up yet, but if you go to our Discord, we do have Excalibur's and Destros infographics. Scott Ong's video boss guide is there, and YouTube as well. And of course, we have a thread devoted to this with everybody who has runs whether it's screenshots or videos, and you can check out. And if you just need some help, come on, say, hey, this is what I've tried. It hasn't worked. Do you have some ideas about what might work for me? So, yeah, I'm taking way too many turns here. But this was my initial run, so I'm still kind of learning how the character plays and trying to understand, excuse me, the mechanics a little bit better. But again, thank you for watching. Let me know how your pulls went. Let me know how your team did, and we'll talk to you all later. Bye.